Welcome to Crazy Sexy Menopause. I'm Betty Vargas, and I educate pre-peri and post-menopausal women who are overwhelmed, overworked, and possibly overweight to live more vibrantly through better applications of my three keys: mindset, meals, and movement. And I am just so very happy to have with me today Lainika E. Johnson. Lainika is the founder and CEO of Trash Logic LLC, a leading waste management and efficiency consulting firm transforming sustainability standards across industries. A UCLA Anderson graduate with sustainability leadership training from Harvard, she built Trash Logic after a record-breaking career in the waste management industry. LANIKA founded Eco in the City, a sustainability consulting firm that partners with local governments and businesses to design customized environmental solutions. She also founded PRESS, which is an acronym for Philippines Remote Expert Staffing Solutions, a Black-owned global staffing firm. You better work it, Lainika. A dynamic speaker, Lainika champions innovation, leadership, and women driving sustainability and social impact worldwide. Welcome, Lainika. How are you today? I think it's okay. I am not sure. Lainika has left the building. Oh, no. We are going to talk a little bit. Okay, I see that Angelo is hearing and seeing me, which is wonderful. But I don't see.
She'll dial back in.
Lainika, and she will hopefully dial back in. And listen, while we are waiting for Lainika to come back in, I'm just going to share with you what I know about Lainika. I know that she has been. Here we go. Here she is. Okay. Lainika, you are back. Yay!
I was not sure what happened. Sorry about that.
I don't know what happened either, but you know what? It's the residual effect of the Halloween ghouls.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
And we're
Oh,
just
you
gonna
must be about to talk about some good stuff because somebody's trying to stop it.
girl, you know that's right. Well, welcome so much. I so appreciate you being here today, and thank you.
Yes.
And let's get into this. So,
Okay.
we have been knowing each other for over 10 years, close to 20 years probably.
Yeah.
Yes. And as long as I have known you, you have been an entrepreneur in various industries. So
Yeah.
for women who may be seeking a change, how have you managed to reinvent yourself, and what did you have to unlearn to lead the way you do now?
I love talking about reinvention. This is one of my favorite subjects, Betty, because I have had to reinvent myself so many times. You asked me what I had to unlearn. Um,
Yes.
I don't know that I had to unlearn as much as I had to learn. So one of the things that people are just learning about me now that I'm 51 is that I have ADHD. And I didn't even know that I had ADHD, right? Which is probably why when you said you've seen me in all these different industries, right? I'm always changing. I'm always doing something different. But I was telling my mother the other day that she didn't even know as I was growing up how creative I had to be to make sure that I was successful in whatever it was I was trying to do, because
Mm.
things didn't just happen for me, right? I really had to strategically think about how things were going to happen. And that aided me as I got older in my life when things would go left and I needed to pivot. And
Yes.
so I always tell women that we are in a constant reinvention cycle, right? So we reinvent ourselves. It might be a 2-year cycle, it might be 5 years, or it might be 10 years, but we are constantly in this cycle where we will have to reinvent ourselves. And so what I had to learn for myself was that planning beats indecision, right? So
Yes. Say
if I
that
don't know,
again.
yes, planning beats indecision. So if I don't know what I want to do, how to get out of a situation, how to change, how to pivot, I need to sit down first with a pen and paper and think about what I want out of life, not what I want to do next, right? A
Mm.
lot of people will look around, especially in this age of social media, they look around at what everybody else is doing and they're like, oh, she's baking cookies, I'm going to bake cookies. Oh, she's selling lashes, I'm going to sell lashes, right? She's coaching, I'm going to coach, right? People look at that and they want to do it.
Yes.
And it's not, that may not be for you, right?
You know what? That is, you are so right with that, because we are such a bandwagon group of people,
Yes.
where we're like, oh, well, if so and so is doing that, I need to do it too,
I'm
or
going to do it.
let me see how it
Let me see
works.
how it
And
works.
something that, like you said, something that works for one person may not work for the other person.
Yeah.
So,
It may not work for you. So,
yes,
for
do
me,
your
it's
do your
literally
thing.
getting pen and paper. Like I keep pen and paper with me at all times, right? And I sit down and I literally I write backwards. And I don't know if you remember when I was on ABC 15, I did a segment where I talked about how to goal plan backwards. And it's really
Mm,
important to think about your end goal. What are you trying to achieve? What am I trying to achieve? So if my end goal is to get this certain job, right? Because we can talk about
yes.
entrepreneurship all day, but say it's just to get this certain job. You're not qualified for that job. What do you need to do to get that job? First, I need to be qualified. Okay, what does qualified mean? Write all those things down. Okay, now how do I get these qualifications? Then you write down how you get those qualifications. Okay,
Hmm.
who do I need to call so that I can start that process, right? So you're working backwards. Now you have your step one, and now you can
Yeah.
work towards that instead of just saying, I want to sell lashes. I'm going to order a whole bunch of lashes and I'm going to set up a website and I'm going to start selling lashes. And then you're like, I don't have any customers. Okay, why don't you have any customers? You never planned to have customers, right?
Mm, woo.
Never built a community. You don't have
Girl.
people that trust you, that will buy from you, right? You haven't been on
Yes.
YouTube, putting on makeup and doing lashes and showing people that that is your expertise. That's another thing. People like to just jump out and do things because they think it will make money instead of really thinking about what is it that I already have, that God already put in me, that I can offer the world. Because
Beautiful.
that's where you're going to find success.
That is so beautiful. I really, really appreciate you sharing that. Um, y'all, we starting out off,
Right.
we started out hot and
Come on,
heavy.
let's go.
Boom.
Boom, let's go. I'm telling you. And it's
Well,
important. Like, I'm serious. I'm on fire because women are women need to know that there is an exit for them. There's so many women that feel stuck. There is an exit for you.
you know
Like,
what? That
yeah,
is that. Oh, hold on, girl, hold on, because we got we got that coming up. We definitely have that coming up. That topic coming up. But I want to see if there are any comments, and just acknowledge anyone who is in the chat or has joined us. I see that. Angelo has come in, and so we want to say hello to Angelo. How are you, Angelo? Good to see you. And feel free to ask a question because this is not only for men, but for women as well. Yes, yes, yes. So listen, let's get back to it. I don't see any questions just yet, but let me go here and whoopsie. There we go. Get my questions going here. I
But I have a
want
question for you before you ask me a question. I want to go back to
okay.
what you just asked me. So you asked me about reinventing and those kinds of things. But over the 20 years I've known you, you have reinvented yourself. You have moved. You have had, when I see you, Betty, I see no fear. I'm like, she can do anything. She has no
Oh
fear.
my
What has given
goodness.
you that like ability to just go and just live your life and do the things that you want to do?
You know what? Years and years ago, well, my mother died when I was very very young, and so
Okay.
my father was the major influence in my life on this physical plane,
Mm-hmm.
and so when he dropped me off to college, because he asked me, he was like, "Do you want to go to college?" And I was like, "Yeah." And
Yes.
so what else was I gonna do after high
Right.
school?
Yes.
Especially when he was such a high achiever. And so when he dropped me off at my dorm, he said to me, and I remember it to this day. He said, "The sky is the limit. You
Woo.
can do whatever you want to do
Yes.
as long as you believe in yourself,
Yes.
and don't worry about anything else." And I believed him.
Yes.
So whatever I felt like I wanted to do, I did
Mm-hmm.
it. And
Amen.
I've lived across the country. I have, established these businesses like you have, and I think that that's I see you.
Yes. Yes.
That mentality where it's like
Mhm.
you do you do what you want to do, and I've
Yeah.
always had that entrepreneurship mentality, and
Yeah.
especially as a single well, I'm divorced because we're both divorced mom of children. I wanted them to see an independent woman as the
Amen.
major example in their lives. And so,
Yes.
if I wanted them to achieve more, then I had to be more. So,
Mm. That's it.
so
Clock it. That's
yeah,
it right there. If you want them to achieve more, you have to be more. Same thing,
absolutely.
Same thing.
So,
Yeah.
how has perimenopause changed the way you define ambition?
Girl, okay, you see I have my fan here. Um having a moment, having a moment. Um how has it defined my ambition? You know what? I've had
Yes.
to I'm just learning more about perimenopause, right? No one talked to me about it growing up. Um, you know what I mean? Like nobody tells you what to expect. My mom said when I asked her, "Why did you tell me?" She said, "I didn't know. I couldn't tell you." She was
Right.
like,
Yeah,
"Right."
because their mothers didn't tell
Didn't
them.
tell them. Like they had no
Or
idea.
yeah, or like me, I didn't have a mom,
See?
so
Yeah. So who's gonna tell us? And to something that I think you said to me when I first started talking about having these menopause brunches is that a lot of OBGYNs don't even know, right? They're not even
right.
versed on it. So like who's going to tell me? So I went on my own journey, which is why I started doing the brunches, right? I wanted to
Mhm.
learn what was happening to my body.
Mhm.
Because for the last 2 years, I have been, and it's so funny because, especially when you're talking to men, they look at you crazy. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, this is happening, and that does, I can't do. I have brain fog, and like I'm not able to da 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 da. And they're looking at me like, girl, snap out of it, right? Like, what is? And I'm like, there's
Yeah.
all this stuff that I don't understand happening, and I have male coaches. I've always had my business mentors and coaches have always been male.
Mhm.
So when they're telling me you need to do it, and I'm like, look, things are different. Like I can't get up and go like I used to get up and go. Like I'm having like there's days that I just need to sit my butt down because Like I can't function the way I used to, right?
Yeah, and that was what and that was a question that I was going to ask you. That's my next
Yeah.
question, actually. How have you managed to balance between ambition and rest? And when things go
Yeah.
awry, or now let's get real. Have you ever had a
Right.
hot flash during a presentation?
Yes. Woo! And it's just like, what is happening, especially before I knew what was happening, right? It's like,
Yes.
what is going on? And freezing. Like I remember the first time I froze on camera. I was doing a Zoom class. And there were probably about 46 people on camera watching me. And I was having
No.
and I just froze and I was just like brain gone. And I'm trying to recover. And I could tell people are like, what is wrong with her? Right. And I'm just like, ah. But what I've learned to answer your question is to give myself grace and to not don't force anything, and I say this, I understand my privilege. I am in a privileged situation. I own my own businesses. I am my own boss. I don't have to go where I don't want to go. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. That is a place of privilege, right? So I can
Yes.
just say I ain't doing it today, right? A lot of people don't have that option, and I get that. But for me, it's about radical rest at this point. I am very, very protective of my health and my space. Not only am I dealing with perimenopause, but I recovered from kidney disease. I had stage 3 kidney disease.
Oh,
Um, I guess 3 years it's been now since I recovered, and I said I don't ever want to find myself in a space again where I feel like I have to do and have to do, so that I'm not able to take care of myself because I just have to do. And so
yes.
I'm very radical about taking care of myself. And so, for example, yesterday, I told you I didn't sleep. I did not sleep,
Right. Yes.
but I still had all of these obligations. And I was like, I'm going to get through these obligations, but I am going, after that, I'm shutting down. I'm done. I'm just going to shut down. Because I had brain fog, and I posted a video. You'll see it on my stories where I was talking because I recorded my meetings yesterday. I was talking and I completely just spaced out. Like I lost my words and I didn't know what to say. And I waited, until I recovered. Then I said what I had to say. But I realized in those moments, oh, okay, it's time to shut down, because I was ironing my clothes and I burned my stomach just, inattention.
No.
Yeah. And that happens, and I just said, okay, all right, girl, you need to just, after these meetings, shut it down. And I did.
Yeah.
I shut it down. I put on my jazz. I closed the curtains. I lit some candles. I turned on, the light on my fireplace. I didn't turn on the heat, but I turned on the light on my fireplace. And I just stayed in the dark with my candles, and just for the rest of the night, that's what I did.
I, well, you know what? I applaud you for doing that, for taking care of yourself, because I wanted to ask you, have you ever had to educate your male colleagues about menopause? Because in those times when when you're having the brain fog, or the lapse in memory, and people are sitting on the other end wondering, well, what's going on with her? Do you share that information with them? And because I know that there are some people some men in these industries, or corporate environments, that want to hold that against women for
Right.
being in menopause. So,
Yeah.
how do you deal with that?
I have learned not to bring it up because it
Oh.
does not, for me, I believe just like they require sexual harassment training, they need to, they need to require um, menopause sensitivity, because when I tell you, every single time that I've tried to bring it up and mention it, it has not been met well. It is almost like you're being ridiculous, you're being hysterical. Like, why are you even telling me that? Right.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you watch Love is Blind, but on the reunion, Edmund said, well, sometimes she's PMSing, and all the women said, oh my God, like
Lord, yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of thing where, it's very difficult to have these conversations when people just think that they don't, even though they hear that it's something that is, in our bodies and is hormonal and biological and all those things, they don't really want to hear it. They see it as an excuse, another
right,
excuse for women to be hysterical or
right.
to be unreasonable. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And you know what? I wish that we could flip the script because men really don't talk about male menopause.
Right.
And they have
Yes.
and they have menopause as well.
Yes.
Manopause.
Menopause. Yeah, they
Yeah.
brought that up. The doctors talked about that at our brunch, and everybody's like, "Ooh, let me write that down." Okay.
Yes, as a matter of
Okay.
fact, there is a book written about it, male menopause.
Wow.
And so I think that we should counter their,
Hmm.
their complaints or, their poo pooing us as being menopausal or whatever, and letting them know what the symptoms are of male
Yeah.
menopause because they go through it too. And
Hmm.
they probably know it, they just don't know the
Hmm.
name for it,
Right. They don't
you
have a
know?
name for it. Yeah.
Right. But there is a name for it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
And I wrote it down somewhere where she was
yes.
talking about exactly like what their symptoms are and what it's called. But yeah, we need to
Mm-hmm.
flip it on them and say, okay, but what about when you experience this?
Yes. Yes,
Angela said,
exactly.
yeah, menopause. It is a thing,
It
child.
is
It is
a
a thing.
thing. It is a thing. Wait.
Yeah.
So
So
I am, yes, I'm so glad
maybe I should have
Angela
a
was there.
menopause brunch.
Yes,
Maybe we
yes.
should
Oh
do
my
that.
gosh. That is the reason why I actually had Angelo do a video on men, well, not
Okay.
necessarily men going through menopause, but men and how they can support their
Okay.
significant others and what they're going through, because that is extremely important. When you have people in your life, whether they be coworkers or relationships or, just even your bestie that's a male,
Mm-hmm.
if they know and understand what it is that you're going through, then they can support you on that
Yeah.
level and not just poo poo it away and just, blow you off like, oh, like there's nothing going on. So
Right.
I am really above, totally in agreement with men knowing and actually I have a lot of men who are subscribed to my channel.
Oh, nice. I love
And
that.
yes, and they catch me off guard at social events and corner me asking me
Wow.
about
About their
menopause.
wives.
Yeah.
I love that. At least they want to educate themselves.
Yes,
You
especially
know?
if they are supportive.
Yes.
If they're supportive and they
Yes.
genuinely want to help their significant other, then they are very eager to learn what's going
I love
on.
that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. So, what systems or boundaries did you build because of menopause that you wish that you had set for yourself earlier in your work career?
The boundaries that I set for myself is literally removing myself from situations that are stressful, that
Hmm.
cause me anxiety, because that just makes it worse. That it compounds, and on top of my ADHD, it becomes a situation that I can't control, and that I'm not able to talk myself back from. So
Mm.
I have I have removed myself. So if I'm in social situations and I'm starting to feel some things that, whatever the symptoms are, right? Whatever the
Hmm.
issue is, whether it is perimenopausal symptoms, my ADHD symptoms, or just overwhelm, I have learned that it is okay for me to remove myself. and not force myself to engage, not force myself to be in those spaces. I think as entrepreneurs, we feel like we have to show up all the time. We have to go places, we have to network, we have to do all these things.
Yes.
And that's not always good for us. That's not always good for, for our mental health. It's not always good for, if our hormones are raging. It's just not always where we need to be. And sometimes, yeah, you should go out when you feel good and do those things, right? But also rest. And I'll tell you one thing that I discovered. We are in America so conditioned to go, 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 perform, perform, perform all the time. We're always on. Um, and, I found myself taking all of these meds to manage just
Mm.
life, right? Day to day life. And, my second home is Belize. I just love Belize. I feel like that's where God wants me.
Mm.
And when I go to Belize, I realize I don't take Tylenol, I don't take a leave, I don't take Prozac, I don't take, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing. I'm not taking anything when I'm over there, and I'm working. Right, I have my laptop
Hmm.
and I'm working, but I don't have the stress. I don't feel like I have to be on. I don't feel like I have to perform. I just be. And if I need a moment, I could just take a moment. Right, I'm just
Hmm.
gonna walk outside, go put my feet in the sand, sit there for a minute, breathe. Last year, this time, I was in Jamaica. Prayers to Jamaica. Um,
Yes.
but last year, this time, I was in Jamaica. Same thing. I just sat outside. We rented a house on the beach, and I just sat there. And I had my laptop. I did a lot of work. I did my strategic planning for this year for 2025. But I sat there in the mornings at 5 a.m. and I just looked at the water, and I was just centered, and I didn't feel the need to be on.
Girl, that is the same thing. We just got home from Bali, and
Mm,
oh my goodness, the exact same feeling.
yeah,
It's and you don't really get it until you
yeah.
leave the United
So
States.
you leave. Yeah. And do you feel like as soon as your feet touch soil, you're like
Yeah.
back at it again? Right?
Yes, yes,
Like,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. We have to have a conversation about Belize offline,
Yeah.
but
Yes. Ooh,
because
Belize. Wow.
that's
That's
another conversation. That's another
yeah.
conversation. But yes, I totally agree with you on that one. Now, what does sustainable leadership look like when you
Mm,
are the resource that needs sustaining? And how do you protect your
mm.
peace, your energy, and your purpose?
Ooh, okay. So I love that you phrase that question that way, because I'm a certified sustainability leader. So what
Hmm.
does it look like when you are? I think it looks like honesty. It looks like clear communication. Um, and again, I always recognize my privilege, but I tell my team, not today, right? I tell my
Gotcha.
team, not today. Today I am
Yes.
on silent mode, and my phone will be on do not disturb. If you have questions for me, put them in writing, and I will check them when I get ready to check them. But don't call my phone.
Ooh, I love that. I
Don't call my
love
phone. And
that.
I'm very honest with them, and they know, and they'll say, "Oh, I didn't want to bother you because because I'll say, hey, how come you didn't tell me? Oh, I didn't want to bother you. You said your phone was off." So I'll let them know. Okay, well, if it's an emergency, if it's this, you can you can reach out
Yeah.
to me. But for the most part, I take my time when I need it, and I let my team know. And this did start when I found out I had kidney disease, and I was very sick. And I said, I need you guys to understand that I'm here for you. I'm here to make decisions. I'm here to still lead you. However, when I need a minute, I need a minute. And so I need you guys not to be anxious when I say I need a minute, because that's what was happening at first. You
Mm.
say, hey, I'm going to turn my phone off. And people would be like, okay, well, I got to ask you a million questions right now before you go. And I'm like, okay, well, that kind of defeats the purpose of me, removing
Right, right.
myself. So I had to teach them not to be anxious, and they had to learn to trust that I would, answer their questions, and I would get back to them, so that they could feel like they were able to function. So that, I think in leadership doesn't mean that you're the boss, right? It means that you have built a culture where you lead the people who are following you, right? The people
Yes.
who are following you, you lead them to a destination. And
Hmm.
however that looks, and for me, that means teaching them not to be anxious, teaching them to relax, teaching them not to be reactive, right?
Hmm.
Because that is why they were anxious, is because they were living in reaction. So if, something happened in the field, in my trash company, if something happened in the field, oh, the trash didn't get picked up on this side, they would freak out and, oh my gosh, the trash didn't get picked up. What do we do? Like, I don't want the customer to be mad at me. It's okay. Like, relax. That happens,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Life happens.
Life happens, right? Relax. Call them, explain to them what happened, and then tell them the next steps, and they'll be fine. It's okay. We don't have to jump through hoops. We don't have to go right now, fix it. Call them, explain, hey, this didn't happen. We're already out of the area tomorrow. We'll be back and we'll fix it, right? It's
Yeah.
okay. As long as you
Yeah.
communicate, people are okay, right? And that's with
Right.
most things, right? That's most.
Yes.
Just relax. Yeah.
And I'm sure that actually I'm not sure. Well, this is something that happened to me, but I wanted
Okay.
to ask you if you're in these situations where they're stressful. Does that bring on like a hot flash?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially, and not necessarily because I'm stressed, because I've learned how to not freak out, but because other people around me are freaking out, that brings on a
Yes.
hot flash, right? Because I'm like, okay, all right, listen, calm down, like it's okay, like calm down, oh,
Right. Right.
but
Right.
and then I had a moment with one of my employees the other day. Well, you were having a silent day, and I couldn't reach you, and da, da, da,
Oh no.
and they were having this, whole meltdown, and I said,
Oh no.
okay, but if I didn't answer you till tomorrow, what would have happened? Right? What would have
Mm-hmm.
happened? Like, would we
Yeah.
be out of business tomorrow?
Right.
No. Right? So, what's the worst
Right.
that can happen? But they're freaking out makes me like I literally will hang up the phone in somebody's face,
Oh.
because if it's starting to create this for me, and I'm like, okay,
Right,
I'll
right,
go,
right.
hey, okay, I'm gonna talk to you later. Click. Like, I
Right, right,
cannot,
right. And
because,
you know what's so funny is that men think we're emotional, and
right?
and
They
that's
are.
all
They
you
get
deal
really
with is
upset.
men, and they're so emotional.
Right. That's all I deal with. When I tell you, Betty, that I have a particular person that is male, and he's an older gentleman that I have to take for a walk. I have to
Oh
say, such and such, let's go for a walk. Let's go
oh
for a
my
walk.
goodness! Oh my
Because
goodness!
when he gets going, it is, because sometimes I will we'll be having a regular conversation, and he'll just start like freaking out, and I'll go, hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Let's take let's take a walk. Come on. Let's take a walk, and we'll go for a walk, and I'll say, okay, that your reaction was, over the top. So something is going on.
Mm,
What is
mm.
going on? And there's one time where he said, my wife is dying. I said, okay.
Oh.
Okay. So thank you for telling me that. Now I know. So why don't you take the day? Like, go ahead and clock out, take the day. Right. So
Yeah.
sometimes, in order to keep you from going into that space, I mean, I think sometimes when I have a hot flash, I can't stop it. I just got to wait till it's over. Right.
Right. Right.
Just got to wait till it's over. But in
Yes.
order, when I feel it coming on, when I'm like, oh, you're about to send me there, I have to remove myself and say, I'm going in my office, I'm closing the door, or I'm hanging up this phone. Like, I'm hanging up the phone. I will call you back when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Uh, but sometimes it just happens. Like, I remember the very first hot flash I had, crazy enough, I was in line at the pharmacy, and I had just picked up, what is it? What do they sell in the store over the counter for menopause?
Oh geez.
I can't even think of it.
I know.
I can't think of it.
I'm thinking of the commercial.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
so I was
yeah.
picking that up because my friend was like, I think that you might be in perimenopause. And I can't remember what had happened, but she said, I think you might be in perimenopause. She was like, have you gotten your hormones checked? And I said, no, I haven't. And she was like, oh, she was like, yeah, I'm doing. She told me what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so I said, well, let me go get these supplements and see if that helps. So I just picked that up, and I was standing in line in the pharmacy. And when I tell you, I had never had a hot flash before. All of a sudden, I started burning up from the inside out, and sweat started pouring down my legs.
Oh my gosh.
And like mentally, obviously, I'm in line, so I can't say anything, but I was freaking out in my mind, like, oh my God, I think this is a hot flash. What do I do? I don't know what, and I'm standing in line, like just sweating. When I tell you, just like pouring, I never, and one of the jokes that I've always had in all of my relationships is that I don't sweat. I never sweat. I don't sweat when I work out. I don't sweat.
Oh, you one of those.
Yes, I don't sweat. So all of a sudden, all this sweat is
Oh
pouring
my
from
gosh.
everywhere. And I'm like, what is happening?
Girl,
And I
that
just
was
left
all the
the line.
sweat from all the years you didn't.
Yeah. All the years, all the years. And I said, this is crazy. And I've been sweating ever since. But I just like, what? What is going on? But I remember that was a very scary feeling. Like,
Yes,
it was
yes.
scary because I had never experienced it. And I didn't know who to talk to about, like, I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
I think I just had my first hot flash, you know? I,
Yeah.
and I talked to my mom about it. She was like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, do you have a fan? Like, get yourself a fan.
That's what my mentor told me. She was like, when I have a hot flash, I turn my fan on. When it goes away, I turn the fan off, and that's that is what we heard. And I
Yes.
think that was so beautiful for her to have that response, because it helped me to not take menopause or perimenopause so
So
seriously.
seriously.
And so when I knew that when I took it as a matter of fact type of happening,
Yeah.
then it was my experience was so much easier to deal with, and
Mm,
I didn't have all of a lot of the symptoms. They may have come and then they waned. They
yes.
came and they waned. They didn't linger. Like
Hmm.
women say, I hear some women say that, menopause is just so horrible, and I have this going on and that going on, and for me, because I took it so matter of factly, those symptoms didn't really affect me in that
Mm,
way. So, and then
okay.
of course there was the diet and the
Yeah.
exercise and all of that. But what's one non-negotiable daily ritual that you would say keeps you grounded? And when life and hormones both try to test you, what do you do?
One daily ritual is not talking to anyone before
Hmm.
8 a.m. So I'm usually awake by 5. If I'm not up all night, I'm usually awake by 5. So I used to start my day at 5. I would take calls from the East Coast at 5 a.m. I would jump
Ooh.
right out of bed and get to it. Now I give myself about 3 hours in the morning of just
Hmm.
silence. So one of the things that I talk about often is I bought this house that I'm in now 3 years ago.
Okay.
And when I bought my house, I remember my realtor was like, "You didn't even look at the house." I went straight to the backyard because
Mm.
I needed a space that I could go to in the morning. and put my feet in grass and just ground myself.
I love that. I
That was
love that.
mentally, that was where I was. I was like, I need a space where the backyard feels like my sanctuary. That when I'm home, I feel like I can resort at home. I don't have to leave the country to resort, right? I can resort
Hmm.
at home. So I immediately came in and walked straight to the backyard, and he's laughing at me and he was like, "You gonna look at the house?" I was like, "I'm gonna look at the house in a minute." But he's like, "This is
Priorities,
priorities,
priorities.
right?" So much so that I bought the house. I wasn't living here. I was living in DC at the time. I wasn't living in California.
Mhm.
So I bought the house. I closed on the house while I was in DC. I never saw the house again. I came here. I fell in love with the backyard. I walked through the house. I was like, okay, yeah, it'll work, right? And then I got on a plane, I think either that night or the next morning, and went back to DC. Closed on the house in DC, had somebody in DC come have me sign the papers while I was in DC. So when I came to look at the house, I walked in and I said, I only have two bathrooms.
Uh-oh.
He was like, yeah. I was like, there's no half bath. Where's my half bath? He was like, you didn't know like the house you bought? I was like, no, like I just assumed there was a half bath. So that is the one thing, even though I love the house, but that is the one thing that if I had paid attention, I may have kept looking.
Yeah.
But I was like, I fell in love with the backyard. I was like, this is my
Sanctuary.
sanctuary, right?
Yes,
It
yes.
was full of flowers and full of plants, and it's just
Oh,
so beautiful. I post it all the time, right? If you follow me, I post my
oh,
backyard all the time. I've never had a
okay.
pool before. It was the first time I got a pool because I wanted the water, right? I wanted the water. I wanted the flowers. I wanted the trees, and I moved out to the country. I live outside of the city, surrounded by
Yes.
ranches, right? There's no planes flying overhead. There's no, outside noise. There's no street lights blocking the stars. It is just quiet. And that's
Oh,
what I need.
beautiful.
I
Oh
see
my
somebody in the
goodness.
comments said they
Yes.
loved it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm about to pull up my comment. Okay, hold on, hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it has been a game changer for me.
Minecraft. Yes, she says, love this. Need to implement this. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And for me, that's the non-negotiable. To answer your question, that's the non-negotiable.
Hmm. I love that. I absolutely love that. Oh my goodness. We all
Mhm.
have to have something that is going to ground us.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this. What
Okay.
what did your most painful business failure teach you
Oh my God.
about power?
Whew. Okay. I haven't talked about this publicly very much.
Okay.
Um, so I keep telling you how I had kidney disease. Um,
Yes.
so in during the pandemic, my business exploded, right? My business grew.
Mm.
That created a lot of jealousy around me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I can see that.
yes, that created a lot of jealousy around me. At the time I had a business partner, and he was a Caucasian male, and he suddenly had a problem with me being the CEO of the company, and he felt that we should be co-CEOs. And I said,
Whoa.
okay. At that point, I had been in business for 5 years, and I had been running the company. So why should we be co-CEOs now? And it was people in his ear telling him that he should be right. He should be the CEO. I got us here. I grew it. I'm the one that started the company. I brought you in, right? So he was the COO.
Mm.
I brought him in. Um, gave him a piece of the company. He and I were equally financially. We made exactly the same thing. He got paid exactly what I got paid. I wasn't getting paid more. I did everything that I could to make sure that he felt like an equal partner. But he started having this issue with me being the CEO. Um, and he started to sabotage the business at the same time building his own competitive business. And I'm traveling the country, opening up new offices all over the country because we're growing. And at the same time, he's sabotaging my main business here in California. So that was very difficult. I went through that the same year that happened. One of my best friends, Latasha, passed away.
Yes, yes. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so
Oh
she
my
passed away.
gosh.
So that was like right during the same time. And because Latasha passed away, I was feeling bad, but I didn't know. I thought it was related to the business situation and Tasha passing away. But I said, I'm going to go to my doctor. I'm going to get a full panel because I want to make sure that I'm good because Tasha was 45, right? And she passed away. Like, why?
And she was
I,
your ride or die.
she was my ride or die. That was my sis. So I was like, let me go get checked out, make sure I'm good. And, ran tests, come back, find out I had stage 3 kidney disease. This is all in the same year. This is all 2021
Oh my God.
that this happens. And I had to figure out how I was going to survive, honestly. How was I going to survive? I lost my business partner who truly was like a brother to me. So I was very shocked that happened, right? Very shocked. I had to walk him out of the business. That was traumatic for me. Um, so basically I lost somebody who was, like my brother, one of my best friends, to find out that he was influenced by the political climate, right? During that time.
Oh no.
To find out that that's what was influencing a lot of his movements um, was heartbreaking. And then to lose Tasha that same year, and then to find out that I was sick. And at the time, I was a vegan, so I don't know if you remember, but at that time, I was the smallest I'd ever been. I was the most in shape I'd ever been. I was working out every day, and then for them to tell me I couldn't be a vegan anymore. I have to change my diet. I have to do all these things, this very carb heavy diet. I put on like 30 pounds very quickly. Fell into a depression, right? While I'm trying to work on my diet and all of this. At the same time, I got diagnosed with ADHD because I finally figured out what was going on, right? So it was a lot happening. And so what I learned was I had to make a decision. You're going to live. You are going to live. You're not going to just exist. And
Yes.
what does that look like? And how do you create a life that you could be proud of? And so what did it teach me about power? It taught me that I own my power. I always had it. And I just have to step into it. So one of the things that I looked around and said is, okay, I lost my business partner, but this is mine. I built this. This is all mine. All the trucks are mine. The name is mine. It's trademarked. It's under my name. This life is my life. I built this life
You
brick by
better
brick.
go, girl. You better go.
And that's it. I had to decide this is mine. I have the power, and it's always been here. And I have the power to create the life that I want. And it is curated. I tell people all the time, my life is curated. You see what I do, you see how I live. I'm not very materialistic, but I do what I want to do. I go where I want to go. I spent the summer traveling Europe because that's what I wanted to do. Because I built this life and I deserve it. And I deserve to do and have and be whoever, whatever, do whenever I want. And that's the truth of it. At the end of the day, and I'm unapologetic about it. This is my life. Mind your business.
Mind your business and mind your business.
And mind your business. Yes.
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness, girl. And you are the epitome of that. I love it. You are not asking for permission. You are just doing the dang thing. And I love it. You are such an example for so many women. Wait. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see what's going on here.
Yeah, I see the comments now.
Angelo is cracking up. Yes, yes, yes. And then we see Minecraft is sharing. What did she say? Figuring this out right now.
Yes.
Girl, you know what? I hope Minecraft is a female. I'm just
I do
saying.
too. If you're not, it's okay. You got to figure it out too.
Okay. That's right.
We all got to figure it out.
We all got to figure it out.
Because honestly, this is the thing. We waste so much of our lives, right? I keep telling you, I'm 51. So I'm like, I've lived half of my life.
And you're looking
And
fabulous, by the way.
thank you. Thank you. I've lived half of my life. My dad said, I can't believe you're 51. He said, so how old does that make me? But, I said, I live half of my life trying to get to a place where I don't have to ask for permission. So I will be damned if I'm going to ask for permission now.
There you go.
Right?
That's right.
I've lived half my life asking for a seat at the table, asking for people to let me do, asking for, to be treated a certain way. I'm not asking for another thing.
Yeah. You have not said nothing but a word. That is a word right there. When we get to the point where we just do not care and we are not asking for permission, I absolutely love it. Now, let me just ask you this. We're going to take a little segue because we are coming up on the hour. But I just want to. Now, do you have a few minutes extra? Because
I do.
Okay, yeah. Great. Because
you can talk all day, girl.
Okay, girl. Because now I want to talk to you about bushy brunches and mimosas and menopause.
Yes.
So tell us how you came about that business, these events, because now you're an event planner and you've got all this going on. What inspired you to create this space for women? Because it is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, so this is a great conversation. So I don't consider myself an event planner. I consider myself a curator of experiences.
I was just about to say curator. That's exactly what it is. Yes.
Because I truly believe that that's what I'm doing. So last year, during the election, 92% of us did what we were supposed to do to protect democracy, right?
And we did, yes.
And we did. We were very heartbroken and shocked the morning after. And I think that we felt that we went hard in the paint, as we always do as Black women, right?
Yes.
We're always the ones doing the right thing, doing what we're supposed to do, only to be disappointed by our
others.
Counterparts. Yes. So we got very quiet as a collective, right? We got quiet online. We all just kind of said, oh, we see it, we clock it, okay. We got very quiet. We weren't really talking. We all just kind of said, And I think collectively we took a breath and took a step back. Mm-hmm. And when I finally came out of the fog, because I think I was in bed for about 2 days, I just could not believe it. I just, and to this day, like, it's very difficult to believe that we have come as far as we have and let evil prevail, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not about politics. This is, so people understand, it is not about politics. I am somewhat conservative in my, in my views, but this is not about politics. This is about good and evil.
Yes. And morals.
And morals. Yes. At the end of the day, it's like, what do you truly believe your values are? Are you just giving lip service? But anyway, so I stepped back, and after a couple of days, I was like, I don't want to talk about it. But one thing that I do well is brunch. I am a bougie bruncher. I go to bougie brunches. I like my fancy brunches. I like to, I like to travel and brunch. So I just kind of posted on Threads. I was like, hey, you know, I love a bougie brunch. Does anybody want to go to brunch? And
Mm.
it exploded to the point where there were so many women that responded. I would say over 2,000 women responded that I put up a like an interest form. If you like to go to brunch, fill out this form, tell me where you live, what you like about brunch, those kinds of things. And over 400 women, 415 some odd women signed up.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, Jesus. Okay. So, and they were all over the country. And I was
Wow.
like, so, I kind of like, I did what I did. And I farmed the data, like how many people are from, which state and, big cities and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, I'm gonna host a brunch in Sacramento first because that's where I am. Because that's what I was really asking. I was asking who in Sacramento wanted to meet me for brunch. But all these women from all over the place responded. I mean, literally people from Portugal, like even like out of the country. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do this first brunch in Sacramento and see how it goes. And then if it goes well, then I'll go other places. So far we have done bougie brunches in Sacramento, in Napa, in Dallas, in Beverly Hills, in um, Atlanta, in Phoenix, right? So we're traveling all over the place. And this year, I was at a conference in in June. I was in a conference in June. And one of the women at the conference in Atlanta, she said, has anybody talked to you about perimenopause? Because nobody talked to me about perimenopause.
Oh.
And I'm going through it, right? And at the time, like I had my fan. I think that's how the conversation started, right? We were like, three of us were in the lobby with our fans. And we started talking about it. And she said, when you do your brunches, like you should do one, centered around menopause. I said, what if I did one called Mimosas and Menopause? She was like, oh, I would come to that. And I said, okay, I'm going to plan it. So it became a series because so many women were interested in the subject. And it's interesting how as soon as you bring up something, the universe kind of converges around it, right? So all of the conversations I started having were about menopause and perimenopause and postmenopause and like all of these things. And I didn't have any information about it. So I said, I'm gonna go to the doctors that I know and ask them if they want to come with me and do this brunch. And I said, let's do it in Atlanta because the doctors I knew were in Atlanta. So I was like, well, let's do it in Atlanta first and see how it goes.
You must
So
not have known about Crazy Sexy Menopause, my YouTube channel.
I didn't know yet. I did not know until I actually put it out. And when I tell you the universe converges, right? Because then you mentioned it to me, right? You mentioned it to me
Right?
once I said I was doing this. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. And what a
Yeah.
great name. Crazy Sexy Menopause. That is a great name. So yeah, so everything started to come together. And so I met, not I met you, I already knew you, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
started talking to you about like how we can collaborate. And Dr. Sam, she has what she calls the Vital Method, where she works with patients and she talks a lot about sleep. She actually has a TED talk on sleep that you can look up. Dr. Sam, two M's, and Dr. Sam Price, and then Dr. Michelle. She creates teas. You were telling me about this valerian root. So she actually creates and curates these teas for women,
Ooh.
and she talks about menopause, and she has a whole line. This is her company. It's called Reality, and
Okay. Well,
this came out of the
we're gonna have to get in
yeah.
contact with her so we can have her on the show.
Yeah, she has teas for everything. She has teas for calming down. She has teas for
Beautiful.
everything. So anyway, but I started, that's how that came about. So now we're going on tour with it. So we'll be in
Ooh,
Phoenix next. Yes.
exciting.
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 So yeah, so people can
Yes.
go to bougiebrunchers.com to connect with us and learn
Beautiful.
all about it. Yep.
Well,
So yeah, we're
now,
excited.
what happens in that room at the bougie brunches that makes women put their phones down and lean in?
When I tell you, and that is exactly what happens. I wish, I wish this for every woman. When you walk into the room, when I say I'm a curator of experiences, what I want you to feel in that room is a big hug, right? I want you to
Love
come in. I
that.
want you to feel like everything in that room was created for you to just let your guard down and just to be. You don't have to perform in this room, even though all of the women in the room, they're all very high performers. The people who come to Bougie Brunchers, they are women who lead industry. They are executives at their jobs. They are women that, that have on their own created spaces, right? They're women like you, they're women like me. But when they come in that room, they're just women, right? We walk into that room and we are in a space that is safe for us to be in. You don't have to worry about being taken out of your character and having your buttons pushed, right? None of that. I I go into that space before anybody gets there, about 3 hours before, and I pray over each seat.
Oh,
Everyone has
beautiful.
a name card. So if I take your name card and I place your name card and I'm praying for you and I'm praying for the next person, praying for the next person, so that when you come in that space, there's spirit already in the room, right? We are
Oh, I love that.
already, the music is playing. It's designed to bring you into your, into a space where you can be at one with yourself, but also with your sisters. There's going to be aromatherapy in the room, and the doctors are so lovely, right? They are so beautiful. They speak not only to the body but to the spirit, and we are able to, and it's not like they're up giving a presentation, right? There's no PowerPoint. Right? We are in an intimate, we're in an intimate setting, and we're
Right,
all just
right.
sitting around and we're really just talking. They are lending their expertise, they're lending their understanding of not only our bodies but what we go through as women and the things that we have to overcome. And we're just sharing. And the women in you're sharing. Like, we're all sharing. It's not just them sharing, we're all sharing. This is what I've learned. At the last one, I was finally able to tell my story. I don't think I've ever really told my story, to this group of women. I was finally able to tell my story, and I didn't know how important that was for people to hear.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Stories
And
are
it,
extremely
yeah.
important. And how has hosting your brunches changed the way you show up as a leader? What have you learned from these women?
I've learned that everybody has their stuff.
Yes.
Everybody has their stuff, and you have absolutely no idea what people are dealing with at home. People have parents that are on hospice, that are dying. People have marriages that are on the brink, right? People have children that are special needs, or they have children that have substance abuse problems, or incarceration, right? We have things that are going on behind the scenes that people don't know, because we show
Yeah.
up, especially Black women, right? We show up suited
Yes.
and booted, beautiful,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Vibrant.
Yeah.
We don't show up as the old folks always say, you sure don't look like what you've been through. Right?
I tell people all the time,
Yeah.
when they say, "Oh, you're 71," I'm like, "Well, I'm not supposed to look like I'm 71."
Right. Yeah. I mean, nobody would ever know that, right? If when you're
Right.
looking at just a number, nobody would ever know that, you
Right,
know?
right. We're
And
not
people
supposed to
don't
look like how
know.
we feel.
No. And the other thing too, I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, you don't tell your story enough either, Betty. Like, how many people know, that you raised these phenomenal athletes? How many people know that about you?
Not many.
Not many,
Not
right?
many. Not
Even in this
many.
conversation, I'm like, why is Betty not telling us about how she is this powerhouse athlete herself, how she got a body created, carved out for the gods? Like, why are you not talking about yourself? Tell
Because
people.
this is about you.
But it's also about you. Like, the people need to know. The people need to know, because when I'm 71, I want to be you, right? I want to make
Okay.
sure that I know how to be Miss Betty, right?
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to be broken down at 71, you know? So how do I get to be Miss Betty?
Oh Lord. Okay, okay. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Do it. And I'm telling you, in every conversation you have, you need to be telling us, right? You
Oh
need
my
to go in
goodness.
with, hey, I'm Betty and I'm phenomenal. Let me tell you, you know.
Well, thank you for that lesson.
Yes.
I appreciate
I'm like,
you.
I know, so I can say it. I can tell the people, listen,
You
this
do
lady
know.
was phenomenal.
You do know.
I do know.
Okay.
I'm like, I remember you coming to my house and taking me on a speed walk and teaching me how to do that.
Oh, that's
Right?
right. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
And then coming back to my house and saying, and standing on the other side of the counter and saying, all right, take out 2 eggs, take out some spinach. You're going to make yourself a breakfast now. Like, you taught me that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Lord, you put me on blast.
Yes, I did on purpose.
Oh my goodness. I don't even think Angelo knew that.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh Lord. Okay, well, since we're chuckling, what's the bougiest thing that's happened in one of your brunches?
What's the bougiest thing that's happened in one of my brunches? I think, honestly, in Phoenix, I think people were, I saw the looks on their faces when we brought out that seafood tower and they realized that we were going to have lobster, oysters, and all the things. They thought they was just coming there to have a little bitty, like, you know, some little waffles, a little this, a little that. When they saw,
Chicken and waffles, right?
right. When they saw that, oh, we oysters. Oh, we having lobster. Oh, we having, oh, and the filet mignon as a starter. That was the other thing. They were like,
What?
oh, okay. So, you know, when I tell you I curate experiences now, not every brunch has that, right?
Yes, yes.
The Mimosas and Menopause brunch, we're very, very health conscious. So we make sure that the whole menu is an inflammatory menu.
Yes.
I mean, anti-inflammatory menu, right?
Yes, yes.
You know, like this is the book that all the women are going to get at the next one. It's
Oh,
the
nice.
anti-inflammatory cookbook.
I love that. I love that.
So, yeah, but it's always something that I want to make sure that is a wow factor, right? At the brunches.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's always a little something that people are like, at this last one we gave everybody the Tracy Ellis Ross hair products. So it's just like we want to make sure that there's a little bit of a, oh, I didn't know I was gonna get that, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. So
Yeah.
what advice would you give women who feel like menopause is stealing their confidence or slowing down their dreams?
Get a fan because it's only going to be a moment.
You see my fans.
Yes, get a fan. I actually have a fan like that. It's really beautiful that I got for the last brunch. But it's I want you to give yourself grace.
Yes.
All of the dreams that you have, you can still accomplish them. You may not be able to run as fast as you used to run. Right? I can't run as fast as I used to run 10 years ago. I can't go to all the things I used to go to. I cannot, and not that I cannot, I guess I could force myself to. I choose not to. Right? I choose not to. I choose to pace myself. And earlier in the conversation, when I said get a pen and paper, you really need to write down how you're going to achieve your dreams, your goals in this current place you're in. So for every season, there is another set of plans that need to be put in place. You can't use the same plan from 10 years ago, right?
That's right. Right.
Just like your rent isn't the same it was 10 years ago, your mortgage ain't the same it was 10 years ago. You know, inflation happens, and it happens in our lives too. Things have changed.
Right. That's right.
Things have changed.
Lord, have they changed?
Yes. And you need a new set of plans, right? And it's okay to replan. I cannot run my businesses the way that I ran them when I started them, right? There's just things evolve, things change. And
Yeah.
I don't even have the same type of people.
Right.
I can't even, I can't even run my business with the same people I hired when I first started. There is
Mm.
going to be a shift in your life, right?
Hmm.
One of the women, I have to figure out who it is. One of the women in my network has a book called Shift Happens.
Yeah. Wait,
Shift Happens. Have you seen that?
I have, and I do a talk. Shift happens in menopause.
See, you do that too, right?
I do.
And
I do.
there's
Yes.
another one. I'll have to. I think I know who it is. I don't want to say the wrong person, so I won't say it. But
Hmm.
once I figure out who it is, I will connect the two of you, and
Okay.
that would be a good conversation for y'all to have. Maybe
Yes.
on here. But yeah, I think that happens. Shift happens, right?
Hmm.
Shift happens in menopause,
It
and you have
does.
to be ready. So that's what I would say. I would say just give yourself grace and plan for it. Plan for your new life.
Yes. Well, now you have some events coming up with Trash Logic and with Bougie Bruncher.
Bougie brunchers. I know.
Bougie Brunchers.
Yeah,
So, do you wanna tell us what's going on with your
yeah,
businesses right now?
absolutely. So I'm the founder of three different businesses. So obviously we talked about Bougie Brunchers, but really
Mm-hmm.
my bread and butter is Trash Logic, and Trash Logic has now become Eco in the City.
Yes.
So we have now started serving communities as opposed to just property management companies.
Mm-hmm.
And we're an AI platform who manages waste, right? We're an AI
Mm-hmm.
platform that also has a human component. But we are having a webinar on Monday,
Okay.
and it is how to negotiate a hauler contract. So for anyone who has a business and they are having to sign contracts with Waste Management, Republic Services, Recology, whoever your trash company is, we are going to talk about how to spot red flags in your contracts, how to negotiate terms, how to negotiate different fees, the fees that you can't get out of paying and the fees that are negotiable. So that's going on Monday. And then the next Bougie Brunch is in Phoenix. It is the Mimosas and Menopause series, and it is December 6th. And it's at Downside Up. We have an Eventbrite link. You can go on Facebook into Facebook events and look up Mimosas and Menopause Phoenix, and you can find it, and you can find the link to get a ticket for the brunch. It is a curated space for Black women over 40 who are experiencing all the lovely things that we are experiencing. And it is just a beautiful space to just be a woman. And then my other company is Press Staffing. So we staff virtual assistants for small
Yes.
business owners and entrepreneurs. So if you need a virtual assistant, you can go to pressstaffing.com. And then we also handle live broadcasts like this. So my team will set up a live broadcast. So if anybody's thinking about starting their own podcast, or they do weekly Zoom calls, things like that, they'll moderate in the chat for you, and they will also set up all the tech for you. So yeah, we do all of those things, and that company
I
is based in the Philippines.
I
So
love that.
yes,
Yes, thank you so much. And
welcome.
Minecraft says that's awesome. So, Lanika, thank you so
You're
much
so
for this spirited conversation today.
Thanks for having
And
me.
you're welcome. It was my pleasure and my joy. And in addition to all of the links that you mentioned, if you're looking for Lanika, you can find her on all the social media platforms because she is all over.
Yes, you can find me at Lainika Johnson. Yes.
Yes. And then you check out my website at crazysexymenopause.com to get my free ebook, 3 Keys to Maximizing Your Life During Menopause. And always remember, it's your life. Live it well.
I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.